Hello and welcome to another video. This is me again, the new Danish biker. I am here to teach you something about the Danish driving license system. We have a few basics and then we have the really intense stuff. To start off with, it's dealt into two parts. It's the theory and then it's the practice. In Denmark, it's a specific system since we have something where we need to learn some stuff in a classroom, which is the theory part. Then we need to go and drive some freaking cars and motorcycles in the practice. So that's why we kind of, let's just separate it into two parts. We start off with the theories. We always have 1 and 2 theories, then we have the test driving, where we go out in a course, in a closed course, and we learn the stuff. On cars, you learn like on a little course, you learn to park, you learn to drive around. On the motorcycles, we need to learn some counter steering, how to set off, how to stop, and stuff like that. It's pretty basic, but then we get onto the theory 2 or theory 3, and then we drive out on the roads for the first time. That's pretty crazy for us. I know other places where you drive 5 hours on a practice course on a Sunday and then you can go driving. But here we have to take it into steps. We have theory 3, drive once, theory 4, drive 2, theory 5, drive third time. I mean, and so on. It keeps going like that. But then when we've hit all the stuff, we've learned everything in the classroom, we've hit all the theory courses, then we start to get to the kind of hard stuff. Because the theory classes is, like you can see on the picture over here on the left, over here, it's breaking down a picture. You get around 25 pictures at the test, and you usually get 3 to 4 questions. So like here, you can see this biker here, and you can see someone walking up here. This bike is probably going to pull out. You would have to choose if you want to slow down, like behind him, and not pass him, since there's a full line here. You can't just pass that if you want. Would you pass him? You definitely wouldn't want to do that because there's the full line here, and you might end up hitting him. And you need to be aware of the road. No, you don't really need to be aware of the road. You just need to be aware of the 2 bikers. And that's pretty much it. If you keep answering like thoughtfully and you know how the theory is, then it's pretty easy. If you don't, it's going to be hard. But you have to answer 20 out of 25 pictures correctly, and if you do that, you'll pass your theory part. And then we get to the tough stuff, because now we get to the practice, and the practice is the 6 driving times right here, the 6 times, and that's including these right here. So I'm pretty sure it's 3 or 4 times, and then you pass your theory test, and then you have a couple other times you need to drive, and then you go to the test. But you need to hit 2 really difficult driving parts. The first one is dark driving, where you go out on a road, it's pretty dark. You need to learn how to use your long lights to navigate in the dark and try to drive safely. Then you have your third part, which is the highway part, where you need to go onto it. You need to know how to accelerate really fast and keep it steady on the road while there's a lot of cars around you. And I'm really excited to be able to try that. Then when you've done all that, you've hit it all the times, then you go to the practical part. There's going to be a police officer driving behind you, or there's a police officer going to be testing you and giving you grades and passing you or not passing you. So to start off with, you need to be like almost 100%. I would say 99.99% correctly about everything you do at this part, the practice test, since it's a pretty tough test, and they're pretty mean. I mean, if you just leave your blinker on when you turn and you forget to turn it off fairly fast, you could actually just end up not passing right there, which feels bad since you've gone through all that trouble. But before you actually get right to the start of this test, you go to a specific a course, which is just to learn how to drive on difficult circumstances for motorcycles, for example, and cars. Cars get driven on a wet road where there's water splashed into the wheels, and you need to learn how to navigate, even though it's that hard. But at this specific test, you need to go in the dirt. You need to know how it is to hit the dirt while you're in speed. You're probably going to get some slippery parts and stuff, some water stuff. I haven't been there yet, but I've known what it's like to drive there as a car. But I can't wait to get there. It's going to be fun. And then you actually get to the test. There's a few parts like I wrote here. The MC questions is when you get there, you need to get some questions about your motorcycle. He's going to ask you questions like the hydraulics, the exhaust, how far your headlights are allowed to be, how bright they're allowed to be, and he's gonna ask you questions like that, and you need to answer all three of them correctly. Of course, you can have some stuttering, you can be a little bit unsure, but as long as you're mostly secure in your answers, he's not gonna be mean. Then you need to go through the maneuver testing where you take your bike and then you do some different stuff. Like there's the slalom. They need to be sure that you know how to counter steer, and if you do all that, then you're actually already onto the big test, the hard stuff, like I like to say, because this is when you actually get to go on the road. The police officer is going to drive behind you, and he's going to be on the walkie-talkie telling you exactly what to do. He's going to say drive left, drive right, drive where, park here, and you need to drive as safely and as protectively as you can while doing the speed limits and being aware of where you are. And this is where it gets tricky, because if you do one pass of someone, like if you drive past someone and you don't look over your shoulder, there you go, you lose. You need to go back over and you need to try again. Or you don't get to try again now. You're going to have to book a new time and then you're going to have to go through it again. But this is pretty much it. And if you pass, great, you have a driver's license right there and there. But if you don't, it's going to be 3,000 kroners, which is fairly $445, and you're going to try again. You're going to keep going through it, but in the end, it's going to be worth it, because all of these procedures and stuff you have to get through it just makes it a little bit safer to drive here in Denmark. It's a long process, but it's going to be fun in the end. And you're going to feel a little more safe when you're driving on the road. I know some places like the United States, which I think it's a 5-hour course you take on a Sunday. After that, you're actually allowed to drive on the road, which I think is awesome, because I would love to do that. But at the same time, it's really dangerous. I wouldn't feel safe driving on the road, knowing that other people just passed the test 5 hours of driving a motorcycle, don't know how to do some stuff. So it's gonna be fun. We'll see what it comes through. I won't be able to film any of these theories. That's just a no-go. This test part is not going to be testable either, or filmable. These drives, it's a maybe. I haven't actually gotten the go from my driving instructor, but I can't wait. And like I said, I'm gonna get myself a GoPro for the helmet. I'm gonna go buy the helmet here this weekend, I think. So we're gonna see how it goes, and I'll show you guys, and I'll send you pictures, and I'll make sure to document everything if I can. But that's it for this time. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a really great day.